self-mastery is grace. Give yourself the grace to allow yourself to be a human and get better. Don't expect to be perfect, because if you want to be the best that you can be, you have to prioritize yourself. You have to prioritize skills and training. What is your sales mastery? What is your skills? What do you lack? Where is the lack of confidence coming from? Well, I don't have money. Of course you don't have money. If you had the money, you wouldn't be watching free YouTube. You would be in the best program you can be in. But do you want to continue not having the money, or do you want to figure it out? Because money is not the problem. Money is a symptom. The problem is that you don't have the skills because you never invested the money and you thought it was going to be easy. And guess what? It's not. It's hard. You need to be in the right room where you're developing the right skill set. My mentor is Sharon. My mentors are Jeremy Miner. My mentors are Tony Robbins. Those are some pretty intelligent people. How do you get better? What's the level you're willing to invest in yourself to elevate yourself? Can you keep leveling up? Because when you do that, your life changes and so does everybody else around you. What's up? Welcome back. Hey, check out the new digs, y'all. Like, woof. This is the living room here, and I am super excited. You can see over there's the ice bath. So that's a homemade freezer. We have Julie kind of cleaning up the leaves on the back patio. Pretty swanky though, eh? Definitely digging the spot. And so wanted to thank you for being on this journey. I wanted to thank you for being here and, coming from 2-3 years ago being, so scared to go out to dinner to now having this, 3,000 square foot apartment here in South America. It's been a journey. And what I wanted to share with you is that there's certain things that we do because we feel like we should do them, but there's certain things that you should do so that you feel like you're worthy. And when I sold real estate and we did $250 million, it wasn't all gravy. It wasn't just like, oh my God, it wasn't like $250 million over the course of 20 years, like some agents do, which is awesome. It's still a fantastic goal, right? But I'd rather accelerate that. And I want you to accelerate that. And so there's a couple of things that I wanted to share with you, because this might sound horrible, but the truth is that I just wanted to make a ton of money, right? Like, I know a lot of people in this industry, and I know a lot of people are probably going to talk smack, but they're going to say, oh, that's selfish. Well, yeah, it is selfish. You should be selfish, and it's okay to be selfish. In fact, it's what you should be doing if you want to be the best, right? Because you're going to be selfish with your time. Why? Because if you want to be the best that you can be, you have to prioritize yourself. You have to prioritize skills and training, right? And you have to prioritize studying, and you have to prioritize working, and you have to prioritize going to the gym, because if you feel like a fucking slob, you're going to show up like a slob. So you got to prioritize good food, quality, healthy, unprocessed food. You got a processing power if you want to process the information necessary to be a top agent. And so when I went out and I bought my car, it was a beautiful Range Rover, supercharged. I wanted that car. I wanted to have a badass car, just like I want to have this badass apartment. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting nice things. In fact, when you want nice things, you tend to become a person that works hard to get those things. And when you work hard to get those things, as long as you're not a psychopath and like a horrible human, you start to elevate who you are as a person. And so you need to have a desire to change your state that's so great that you're willing to sacrifice sleep. You're willing to sacrifice your feelings. I don't want to pick up the phone. Do you think anybody wants to pick up the phone? Right? There's a few psychopaths in the world, but nobody wants to prospect. Nobody wants to follow up. Nobody wants to do the work of talking to strangers that they don't know. Why? Because you don't have the skills, right? My very first mentor, I've had so many mentors since I was 17 years old. My first mentor picked up the phone with us and we dialed for appointments. And that summer, we probably booked in and saw over 100 new people. And so at 17, I just thought that was the way it was. And my whole career, I've just gotten better at booking appointments. Why? Because if I don't have any appointments in my calendar, who cares how great your listing presentation is? Who cares how great your, the thing that agents say to me all the time, oh, well, when I get a client, I service the shit out of them. Well, yeah, because you have to. and you don't have anything else to look forward to. And so you have to chase that person down. You feel like you have to be on their beck and call. Why? Because you don't have any appointments in your calendar. First thing is your self-mastery, your discipline. Are you disciplined? Are you a person that actually takes advantage of the day? Or are you a person that wastes your life away? What time do you wake up in the morning? I don't know very many successful people who are not up early. Why? Because they have a lot of opportunities and they don't have a lot of time to do it. So one of my mentors, Sharon, started the 5 a.m. club 10 years ago. I have been a host on that for 9.5 of those years. Why? Because I wanted accountability. I wanted to know that I had to wake up. I wanted to know that there was people who were listening to hear my name. Morning, it's Vikram calling in from, Seattle, Washington. Good morning, it's Vikram calling in from Bakersfield. Hey, good morning. Fall asleep, wake up. Hey, Vic, are you there? Yeah. I'm here. I'm ready. And because I started to have that accountability, now, no matter what day of the week is, no matter if I went out drinking or not, I still wake up between 4 to 6 o'clock every day. Why? Because I have built my life around waking up early. I don't want to wake up early, but I made a commitment to get up at 5 a.m. Now, I have friends that say they're going to do shit, but they don't do it, right? They just don't do it. And that's okay. I have clients that say they're going to do it and they don't do it. Just don't say you're going to do it. Like if you say you're going to go to the gym, go to the gym. If you say you're going to do a certain thing, like you might fall off, right? You might fall off. Like I'm doing the carnivore diet again. Last night I had pizza and nachos. Why? Because my fridge was empty, right? Because as a carnivore, you don't have a bunch of crap in your fridge. You keep your house very clean. And so I was sitting on the couch. It was a long day. I was on 9 hours of Zoom calls. My mental fatigue was dipped because I didn't take care of myself, right? I didn't take a walk. I didn't do the things that I needed to do. I had a couple of tough sales calls. My energy was depleted. My brain was tired. I didn't rest at all. It was 9, 10 hours back to back on Zoom meetings. And I felt afraid in my stomach. And I got online and I ordered equivalent to Uber Eats, a small personal pizza and nachos. And then I felt pretty crappy afterwards. And this morning I felt pretty crappy. And so now we're going at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I've had 2 chomps like beef jerky sticks. And I had my kind of bulletproof coffee latte. So a bunch of butter in it. And, am I hungry? Yes. But I'm like, I made a commitment to drop 10 kilos, right? Like about 20 pounds by the end of June. Did yesterday help or hurt me? Well, it hurt me. So now I'm like, all right, I'll fast until dinner. And then at dinner, I'll eat my one meal for the day and I'll be great. And tomorrow I'll get back into the carnivore routine, right? So today I will use that as a opportunity to strengthen my self-mastery. Because people are like, oh, I can't not eat for the day. Yes, you can. You choose to do it a different way. So 1, your self-mastery. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you don't do it perfectly, that is okay. Because part of self-mastery is grace. Give yourself the grace to allow yourself to be a human and get better. Don't expect to be perfect. So many people that try to come into our program like, okay, so we gave you some money. We should be rocking and rolling. No. Did you do the work? No. Well, then why would you expect to get a result? Well, the program doesn't work for me. I haven't seen you show up. When I was selling Cutco, I was the first person into my office. What? Because Mike Meditz, my manager, my very first mentor, said, if you're the first person in and the last person out and you do exactly what I tell you, you will not be successful. He's like, I don't know how successful you'll be, but you will not be successful. I'm like, all right. So I did exactly what he said. Was I the best in the world? No. Were there other people smarter than me? Yes. Did they do better? Some did, some didn't. But I just followed the process. And every day I showed up, every day I role played, every day I asked questions, every day I asked him right after an appointment, I'd call him up, or I'd call my dad up, I'm like, hey dad, this is what happened. He's like, what did they buy? I'm like, they didn't buy that much. They bought $500 worth of stuff. Okay, what could you have done better? I could have done this, and this. He was my sounding board, right? He's like, how much money did you make? I think I made $80. He's like, it's $19.99. You made $80 selling knives in a 45-minute period? Yeah. I was like, but I got 75. He's like, you got 75 names and numbers? Like, what the hell are you doing? And then the numbers got bigger and bigger and the commissions got bigger and bigger. And I finally capped out at 50% if I hit a certain bonus. But I just followed what my mentor said, which is why it's crazy to me that people are like, oh, well, I'm just going to wing it. Because winging it's not gotten you the results you want. So why would you keep doing that? It just means you should probably go get a job. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, you should probably get a job. And there's nothing wrong with getting a job. We have great team members on our team who don't want to do the stressful things that we do. I don't blame them. In fact, there's some days where I'm like, I should just go get a job. But then I remember my mission, my vision, and my purpose on this earth. And it's to be the person that causes change. And because of that, because my mission is so big, I realize that I have to do the things that most people don't want to do. And it sucks some days. Like, y'all think that I want to work on Saturdays, but we do it because that's what we've accepted as our responsibility. And so you have accepted a responsibility. Are you living up to it? Are you being, obviously you're listening to this free YouTube channel right now. So are you in the right rooms to get to where you want to go? Because if you're listening to a free channel, instead of like listening to our content inside of our portal or working with some other group to improve your communication and sales skills, are you actually doing the work it takes to be the best? And if you're not, that's okay. Do you really need it? Is it a burning desire, right? Napoleon Hill says you got to have a burning desire, right? You got to have a burning desire to change. You got to be willing to leave your old self behind for the possibility of the new self. Like when you touch your skin, you know what you're doing, right? You're shedding your old cells that your body no longer needs. Imagine if your body was not operating efficiently and it held on to those cells. You'd have scaly, nasty skin. You look like a snake. Snake skin's actually very nice. If you touch a snake, they're very nice to touch. Why? They shed their old skin. They have to crawl under stuff and they have to stretch it off of them. They have to go through a painful thing to get rid of the old so that the new can emerge. Are you holding on to too much? Self-mastery before sales mastery. The next thing you need is you need the right skills, right? You need to be in the right room where you're developing the right skill set. My mentor is Sharon. My mentors are Jeremy Miner. My mentors are Tony Robbins. Those are some pretty intelligent people. How do you get better? What's the level you're willing to invest in yourself to elevate yourself? 2022, I believe it was, or 21, 800 grand in debt, maybe more. Didn't know how much I owed in taxes. Probably was over 7 figures. And I was investing $3,000 a month into sales training, into communication training. And I was showing up 4 or 5 days a week, raising my hand, asking questions, sounding stupid. Why? Because I wanted to be the best in the high ticket closing space. I wanted to be able to teach others how to be great. And I couldn't do it if I wasn't learning. I wasn't making sales. I had lost my mojo. I lost my confidence, right? Some of you are like $10,000 in debt. You've lost your mojo. You've thrown in the towel. You've given up on your dreams. Imagine being like 100 times, 1,000 times more debt. Did you give up on your dreams a little too soon? That's up to you. I don't know. I can't tell you. Well, you need to make more content. We make a lot of content. People don't reach out. Why? Because it's hard. It's a long game. It's a 10-year game, 3-year game, 5-year game. I'm not good enough yet at content creation that you guys are watching, sharing, subscribing, liking. We're just not good enough yet. Our strategy is not good enough yet. We just don't have a big enough team to help us create the right strategy. Maybe people don't like me. That's okay. I don't know, but I'm not giving up. And so what is your self-mastery? What is your sales mastery? What is your skills? What do you lack? Where is the lack of confidence coming from? Right? Well, I don't have money. Of course you don't have money. If you had the money, you wouldn't be watching free YouTubes. You would be in the best program you can be in. But do you want to continue not having the money, or do you want to figure it out? Because money is not the problem. Money is a symptom. The problem is what? The problem is that you don't have the skills because you never invested the money and you thought it was going to be easy. And guess what? It's not. It's hard. So are you willing now to put the money in or not? Are you willing to go get in the best room that you can afford so that you can keep leveling up? Can you keep leveling up? You know, I didn't just give Tony Robbins $150,000 in 2018. I had started at $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 a month. Level up. And then one day you're like, whoa, how did I end up in this room? How did I end up around these people? Why is Sharon, who's probably like pretty close to being a billionaire, if he's not already one, and maybe he's worth 10 million, but you know, most people that talk about buying a professional team, sports team like the Anaheim Ducks and have conversations about it probably have a lot of money, because like rich people don't just meet regular average day people to talk business because they're busy. When you think about your skills, are you skilled enough to know how to time block? And then do you have enough self mastery to follow those time blocks? Are you skilled enough to take people that you've never met, you've never talked to on the phone and convert them into an appointment that converts them into a raving fan that then converts them into a client and a referral source? If all you work is your SOI and your sphere, it doesn't, you just don't have a lot of skills, right? You're working with people who like you, but don't you need to be working with people who don't know you? And so what rooms do you need to be in? What people do you need to be around? What skills do you need to develop? What sales skills do you need to develop? Right? My 2.5 year into real estate, we did almost $1 million. We were 40 grand short of $1 million. But the next 2 years, bam, 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 million plus. Why? I like nice stuff. I want to change the world, but I also like nice stuff. It wasn't about, oh my God, I want to be able to give back. It was about, I wanted to give to myself. I wanted to make sure that what I was provided in life, I could continue to provide for myself and more. When you say you're not materialistic, that's fine, but you still have material that you're buying. And so whether you buy Gucci or you buy like a knockoff brand from Walmart, you're still materialistic. You're not walking around naked. If you drive a car, that's a material. It's just what kind of car can you afford? Can you afford that nice, really swanky Lexus or BMW or Mercedes or Aston Martin? Or are you forced to buy, the secondhand, third-hand, right, Toyota Camry? Nothing wrong with Camry, but like if your heart's on a badass car and you're not driving it, why not? Why not? And I don't buy, well, I just don't like nice things, because I've never met anybody who doesn't like nice stuff, ever. The minute you sit down and that leather touches your back and you're like, oh, this is different. It feels good. You feel good. But are you going to ever get there? Are you going to ever commit to getting there? I don't know. That's up to you. When you get me on a sales call, I'm really easy to buy stuff. If you're good at what you do, I'm really easy to sell. I like spending money. Why? Salespeople like to spend money. Good salespeople, they love spending money. Why? Because the money the money they spend, they don't see as a waste. They see as an investment. When I leveled up to this apartment, right? I don't need 3,000 square feet. I'm single right now. Ladies, single. I'm pretty good looking too. Just say. I didn't need 3,000 square feet. I don't need this huge patio. I don't need to have this insanely amazing apartment. But when you level up, you become the person, right? When you realize you're like, oh shit, my rent's like $6 grand a month with utilities and everything else, $72,000 a year, just before you even eat any food. Like, I'm not going to eat worse because I live here. I'm not going to start eating top ramen versus like the best steak in town. So what do? You're like, well, shit, my rent went from 36,000 to 72,000. It doubled. Well, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to make sure that we build the business the right way so that I don't have to sacrifice anything else in life. And in fact, you want more nice stuff. You want a better quality of life. When you're in a nicer place in life, you want higher quality life, which means you level up even more, which means you break down the barriers. I saw one of my mentors has this amazing Zoom. And I was like, bro, your Zoom game has been elevated to the 9th level. He's like, oh, you got to meet my boy, Felipe. I was like, please. He's like, send me a message. I'll make an intro. Now on Sunday, I'm going to be studying how to make my Zooms better, my online presentations better. Why? Because they're more engaging and I want to be the best. Because I know that if I want to take my business to the next level, I have to take myself to another level that I haven't been willing to do. Are you willing to do that? When you go out and experience the nice stuff, right? If you want to get around rich people, you got to get around rich people, which means you got to go spend money around those people. I'll tell you a story. So when I was in Seattle, Washington, right? When I was selling real estate in Bellevue, I wanted to break into this neighborhood, right? My ex-wife and I wanted to break into this neighborhood, and we wanted to be seen as people that were in that same caliber. And so what did I do? I got into the nicest building in town. I was selling knives in 2007. I couldn't get a job, shut down my business, moved up to Seattle. I was selling knives. We then started flipping houses for a couple of years, right? But when I wanted to get into real estate, I was like, well, I don't want to deal with the Seattle people. I want to deal with like the Bellevue people, right? They're a little bit more, a little bit more wealth. It's just kind of more my vibe. So we moved from where we lived for 2 years when we were flipping, and we moved to another part of town. But like the rent in this high rise was insane, right? 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010 is when it was. The economy was still shaky. We were doing okay, but like flips can go up or they can go down. We were in the middle of a project, just crazy project where it had a septic issue. They wanted to put horses there. The thing was too close to the, after we remodeled it, we had to come up with 40 grand to close the deal, right? And do all this other work. And the people could have backed out, right? Because we didn't know what we were doing. So we put up all this money. And if those people would have backed out, like we would have spent an extra $20,000, $30,000 for no reason. So we get into the nicest building in town. And then I'm like, well, if I'm going to sell real estate, I should go to the nicest club in town. So I got a membership at the Bellevue Club, which is like this fancy, like gym kind of social club. And I didn't play tennis. I didn't care about the pool. I didn't care about their restaurants. They weren't very good. I didn't care about the hotel, but I wanted to be able to go into the locker room and I wanted to be able to be in the gym around the people that I wanted to be in. Like some people want to buy leads. I want to buy opportunities. I want to buy conversations. So you start going at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock every day, right? And you start to meet the people. Now, if you want to meet people, you need to have a trainer. Why? Because the trainer knows everybody. So I hired a personal trainer. I didn't have any money, but I hired the personal trainer. Why? Because a personal trainer will get me in front of the people. Oh, hey, this is my client, Vic. He just moved in town. He's in real estate. Oh, you're in real estate. Tell me more. Yeah, I'm just kind of getting into it, blah, 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 blah. And now they see you every day. And then when you're in the steam room or you're in the sauna, you're like, hey, what's up, Bob? Hey, how's it going? The good old boys club. And this young, weird looking Indian guy in the good old boys club. Doesn't bother me. I grew up in Bakersfield, a cowboy. All my friends wore Wranglers and boots. And so now you start making opportunities. Guess what? I never closed deals from those people, but they referred me out. Oh, hey, I seen you at the Bellevue Club. Oh, hey, you live in the Bravern. Oh, hey, you're over here. Oh, hey, you're over there. Now, none of the guys that I ever hung out with used me. Why? Because they already knew realtors that were really good, right? Because they have a lot of money. But just being in proximity and talking to them gave me credibility. You should listen to that again. Being in proximity to these gentlemen and their wives and walking up and outside of the Bellevue Club, I always high five them. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? And they're like, how do you know so-and-so? Oh, yeah, we work out together. They're like, really? Like, yeah, all right. He's a super cool dude. You want me to introduce? No, we're good. You sure he's super like awesome? His wife, and then you learn the relationship. Oh yeah, his wife is awesome. They blah, blah, blah. They live over there, right? And now people say, oh, well, if Vikram knows these people, he must be doing super well. And so then when you're holding open houses and when you're at this local Starbucks or the local cafe, I don't like going to Starbucks, but there's one Starbucks that I would go to a couple times a month just to be seen. Why? Because it's right next to the grocery store and like the famous sandwich shop. And then I'd go to the Tully's because that's where all the Microsoft dudes hang out in the morning. And they're like, oh, hey, what's up, Vic? Oh, hey, what's up, Roger? I'm just doing some work today. Well, let me come over and say, they meet so-and-so. And so then you can start dropping names. Oh, do you know the place these people are? Do you know those people? Oh, no. Oh, they're super cool. They go to Bellevue Club too. And people now start to associate you with a higher level than what I was at. I was selling $800,000 houses, but I was hanging out with people who owned $4 million houses. So it wasn't, it was just a matter of time before we started stepping up into the $1, the $2, the $3, the $4 million price range. But I made an investment to be around those people. And while I was investing in all of these other things, I was still investing in mentorship and coaching and training because I wanted to be around the right people. And so I got up earlier, I studied more, I socialized in certain places. I didn't go to networking events very often. Why? Because networking events suck. Everybody's going there for their own reasons. And so I'm not a big networking person, but I like to be seen in the right areas. We would go to dinner every now and then, and we would try to find out where the other people are going from the club. Hey, where are you guys? What do you guys do? You guys got a date night tonight? You and the wife going out tonight? Yeah, where are you guys going? Oh, really? I was thinking of taking my lady out there too. Is it good? Like I hear it's good. Is it really that? Oh, it's the best. Really? Are you sure? Yeah. What time are you planning on going? I don't know. We'd like to go around 7:38 because I like to wake up early. I'm always here. She needs some time to get ready, right? You know how the ladies are. Like, oh, yeah. They start laughing. I'm like, what time do you guys typically go? Same time. Oh my God. Well, if I see you there, I'll come say hello and you can meet the wife. Oh, I'd love to. And now you go there, you see Bob and his wife and his family, and they say, "Oh, Vic, come here. You got to meet this manager." Now you meet the manager. The manager does what? Introduces you to the bar, because I would always go to the same places. Why? Because you want the visibility. You want the credibility, right? You want the proximity. So now I'm at the bar and have my old fashioned, right? Same drink, or I'd go during happy hour. I get the happy hour beer, the happy hour burger, the happy hour fries. I gained a lot of weight going to this happy hour. Let me tell you, I gained Wagyu burger for like $16 with a plate of fries and a beer. I gained a lot of weight. Don't look at my old real estate pictures from like 20. I was a little chunkier than I am now. Proximity. I want to know the right people, but I had to invest. But I had to invest what I could invest. All of a sudden, you start getting known. I didn't need to buy leads. I couldn't afford to buy leads. Why? I was spending my money being around people and getting them to introduce me to people. Now, this particular bar happened to be right in between a very prominent Microsoft campus. Guess what kind of people went into there? Well, people that were moving into the area, that were being courted by Microsoft. And so as the manager was listening, he would hand my cards out to people. "Hey, you're always in here with people. Vic's an amazing dude. You should talk to him when you have people moving in. How can he get into your guys' ecosystem?" So now the manager's selling me to other people. "Oh, hey, Vic, that table over there, they're looking to move into the area. Do you want me to make an intro?" I mean, you don't have to, but I wouldn't mind it. "Yeah, bro, you always take care of me." I always tipped him 30%, right? First time I met him, I gave him $100. I'm like, "Hey, I'm going to be here a lot. Please take care of me. I'm new to the area." "Oh, yeah, I got you, bro. What do you need?" You don't tip for the service. You tip in advance to get the service. Tipping culture in America is super ass backwards. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to tip when you go in. Why? Because then people see you as an elevated status. So I tipped him when I went in because I was introduced to him by somebody. So the next time I went, I said, "Hey man, thank you so much for taking care of me. I just wanted to take care of you." And then you always tip over, because guess what? If you give to people, they're selfish just like you are. Because at the end of the day, you can't tell me you care about people as much as you say you do. Why? How many of your previous clients are not past clients? How many of your previous clients do you touch? Exactly. I'll tell you the same thing. You come into my world, while you're there, like there's a relationship that we're working towards. And once you've achieved your goal and you move on with your life, I'm not going to reach out to you for months and months and months and check in with you. Why? Because we came in for a work relationship. You got what you needed. I got what I wanted. You got what you wanted. Everybody's happy. Now, of course, we're going to have a system in place to make sure that what you wanted, you're still getting, right? That's why you call your clients and say, "Hey, it's been a couple of years in the house. Is everything still working the way that you wanted it to work?" "Well, it is, but like, we're thinking about X, Y, and Z. Tell me more about that." Because life happens and your needs change, markets change. Everybody's out trying to buy leads, but they don't know what to say. Instead, you have leads everywhere, abundantly available to you, but you're scared to put yourself out there. You're scared to spend the money. You're scared to put the energy out there. And instead, you stay at home and you're scared to pick up the phone. I would show you my phone, but we're using it to record right now. We don't even have fancy gear out here, y'all. We got two lights, right? 2 lights. It was $100. I got a little microphone that sounds amazing. And that's it. Everybody thinks they need high quality this and high quality that. Like, your iPhone is better than the phone. Your iPhone camera or your Android camera, like the 6 of you that have an Android, is better than the cameras that my dad spent thousands of dollars on just like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. He doesn't even use those anymore. Why? Because his camera is better on his phone. And yet we don't do the opportunities that are available for us for free because we don't have the skill. I was blessed that I had mentors along the way that said, "Hey, Vic, here's how you do better networking. Your parents go to these nice Indian functions, right? Yes. I don't want to deal with Indians to sell them knives, though, Mike. That's fine. Are there other people there? Yeah." I was like, "I love white people." He's like, "Why? They don't negotiate as hard. They're not as cheap, right? They'll have these $3 million houses, but they won't spend $700 on the kitchen." He's like, "So what kind of people do you want?" I'm like, "I want the country folk, the people that understand, right? Howdy, ma'am. The people that understand that having a nice set of cutlery in the kitchen is going to make their life so much more enjoyable." He's like, "Cool. So when you go to those events, find the people talking to them, ask your parents if they know them, and get introduced to them." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah. And then tell them you're doing this thing for school, right? You got to have your trust base opener and then get in their front door and then get their referrals." I'm like, Well, now I want to go to their parties. He's like, of course, because you now have a process, you have a skill, you have clarity, you have confidence. I said, Mike, could we role play this a little bit? He's like, I couldn't be happier to role play. He's like, but I know you got a crush on my girl, so why don't you go role play with her? Because it's going to make you nervous. And I'm like, no, I can't talk to Corey. It's like, no. He's like, oh, she's super sweet. And he had this beautiful girlfriend, right? He had the nice car, the girlfriend, the whole shebang. And so do you think before I went and talked to her, I did more preparation? Yeah, you did. Why? Because I don't want to look stupid in front of her. I'm like, well, hey, let me do this. Let me write this stuff out. Let me practice a few times on my own. Maybe I could practice with you like once and then I could go practice with her for like half an hour. He's like, yeah. It's like, maybe I should go get ice cream. I was like, bro, you're fucking with me right now. Like, you're just being mean. He's like, no, man, I'm just trying to motivate you. And now they're married. They got 2 kids. He's still an awesome dude. She's still an awesome person. But I wouldn't be here if I didn't have the right mentorship, right? He taught me how to go out and build a business without having to spend money. And everybody's out there trying to spend a ton of dough. Why? I don't know. Self-mastery, skill mastery, and implement it in the world. Go to the places that make you uncomfortable. I was super uncomfortable. Go into the places that make you an uncomfortable person. Spend the money, be around these people. Get proximity to these human beings. They might not ever transact with you, but just being in their presence will get you transactions that you would never imagine. The ability to drop somebody's name, the ability to say, oh, do you know so-and-so? Well, no, I don't. Oh, you really got to meet so-and-so. I can make an introduction for you. They go, how do you know so? Oh, we go to the same gym. We work out. We talk every morning. What? Yeah, I want me to text him now, or here's probably a better. I should probably text him first. I'll make an intro. I'll ask him if it's cool. I'll talk to him at the club, and then I'll make an intro for you guys tomorrow. Is that cool if I do that for you? Oh my God, that'd be awesome. Cool. So what do you do again, Vikram? I'm like, I'm just a connector of human beings. You know, and sometimes people like to buy and sell real estate, and we have some fun processes, but I'm not really important. Like, tell me more about why you're looking at X, Y, and Z. So I do a small drop, and I go right back to them and get the overarching goal of why they wanted to meet my buddies from the club. And then I make the introduction, and I sit back and I wait, and my phone inevitably rings with somebody that I shouldn't have been ever introduced to. Because when you put yourself out there, you do the right things, good things come back to you. So are you in the right rooms? Are you with the right people? Are you in the right mentorship groups? If you're still watching this video, this hit a chord, and you should probably be in a room with somebody like us in our community, or somebody like our community that wants to see you elevate, that wants to see you grow, that wants you to take that beautiful heart of yours and pour it into other people. Because when you do that, your life changes, and so does everybody else around you. When you elevate yourself and you become better and you make more money, you get to have those experiences in life that nobody else gets to have. We did an event last week in Fort Lauderdale. It was a $56,000 event. We collected $18,000, not even $18,000 in ticket sales. Why were we able to do that? Because we have been putting in the hard work to earn the money to put a budget for this event so we could blow the doors off the real estate space. And when you talk to our clients, they'll tell you this was the wildest event they've ever been to, not because it was wild and over the top, because of how we were able to pour back into them. The orchestration of the lighting and the music and the meditation and the speakers and the food and just everybody being with each other the entire time, and the beach yoga and the walking meditations, all orchestrated. But if we didn't have money, we couldn't do that. If we weren't good at what we do, we couldn't do that. If our teams weren't good at what they do, we couldn't do that. If we didn't take a risk and put ourselves out there, we couldn't do that. And so do you see the value and the importance of making money and being selfish right now? Because if you are and you do, your life will grow in ways that you never even imagined. And that's what's exciting, is that when you step into the unknown, as my buddy Joe Dispenza says, when you step into the unknown and you're willing to be uncomfortable in the unknown, that's where miracles happen, because the known, you already know what's going to get you. But the unknown, the possibilities, I never thought I'd be sitting here at this table. I have Louisa over here. She's doing her thing. Julie's doing her thing in the kitchen. We just had somebody leave the house. You probably heard the elevator, like literally the elevator opens into the apartment. Like, look at that. The elevator opens into the apartment. I didn't know that I'd be creating content here like this, but here we are. And who knows what's going to come out of this next? But are you willing to step into the unknown to have a life that you don't know? Because only in the unknown does the unknown happen. Because the known you already know. So if you enjoy this and you're still here, hit the like button, share this with 3 of your friends, subscribe to the channel, notification icon, you want to talk to me personally and you want to learn more about our processes on our program, just click the link, book a time in on our calendars, and I'll see you soon. Peace.